What's up guys, today I'm going to give you all the details on the new PS4. Now obviously the new Sony PS4 is meant to be released, or expected to be released, on the 20th of February 2013. Now obviously because it's going to be released in New York, there's going to be several different time zones. So in New York it's 3 PM, and obviously in the UK for me it is 10 PM. Now the specs for the PS4 are expected to be a AMD 8-core CPU running at 66 GHz, and the RAM is expected to be a new type of RAM, which is GDE at 4 GB, which is 8 times more than the standard PS3 or the standard Xbox you get at the moment, which is a lot bigger. However, this is not really that new, as there are several games that are meant to take up a lot of RAM, and they will require that type of RAM in the future. Now, a new feature expected to be on the new PS4 is meant to be mobile compatibility and tablet compatibility. So this obviously means you'll be able to power your new PS3 or your console straight from your mobile, and this is really good as they can release loads of new apps and loads of new games and stuff like that. Now I just want to say about the RAM, there is going to be also 1 gig of RAM left or reserved for the OS. So that doesn't mean there's going to be 5 RAMs in total. There's 3 gigs of RAM, which is for the actual console, and then there's 1 gig of RAM reserved for the OS. Now the graphics is expected to have a completely new engine, which will have no problem running at most of the new games, including Assassin's Creed, FIFA, Black Ops, Call of Duty and stuff like that. And obviously it's meant to run at 1080p Full HD for all games running at 60 frames per second. Now the new controller expected doesn't have that much features, however it is going to be a lot heavier, as there's expected to be a new touchpad. Now there isn't many details or features on this touchpad, however it's expected overall there will be a touchscreen device on the controller which will allow you to control the gamepad. Now another new feature that's expected to be on the gamepad is a share button. Yeah, that's right. There's going to be a share button on the controller which will allow you to access social networking sites, and this will allow you to upload any of your game data. So if you've got school, for example, you can upload that straight to Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, which I think is a new feature, and I'm not sure if that will be quite successful, as that will get really boring after a while when people are just going to be constantly uploading their game data straight to networking sites. Now the biggest reveal for the new PlayStation event is obviously going to be the games. Now there's expected to be a new Killzone game, a new God of War game which is meant to be called Ascension. There's a new Gran Turismo game which I'm quite surprised about, as last year or 2 years ago there was a new Gran Turismo game which was Gran Turismo 5, and there's also meant to be a new game from the Uncharted Industries which is Uncharted 4. Now the price for the new PS4 models include 2 different prices. The first model should start at £425, which is a UK price. However, there isn't a new price for the other model. Obviously you'll be able to predict that there will be 2 different features for the lower end model and the higher end model. However, I'm surprised it's quite a small amount. Now there aren't many features or any rumours about the design of the overall PS4 console. However, I can definitely predict it should come in black as edition. However, I might predict that they might remove the glossy black finish that they put on the PS3. Now the one thing I'm excited most about is going to be the specs, as I said, the RAM is meant to be 8 times more powerful and more capacity and data RAM storage from the standard Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. So this should be incredibly good for powering anything, and I'm also expecting there's going to be a lot more features on the PlayStation 4, as this RAM will be able to power it very, very easily. Now those are all the details of the PS4 PlayStation. I'm really excited about waiting for the PS4 to be revealed. Now firstly I just wanted to say don't expect too much, as it's only just a small preview of what it will be, so don't expect anything to be like completely the full specs or the full price. It's also expected to change as the prices will go up and down. I'm expecting it to go down hopefully, because hopefully if it is incredibly good I might buy one myself. However, that depends on what it will be like. Now I will try my best to keep you updated when the PS4 is fully revealed. After the 20th of February I will make a new video, so you can expect to see that.